Subaru as a villain. But to be honest, everybody was a villain. Also, shoutouts to me. I'm in the little corner over here. Subaru the woman beater? I mean, everybody was. And Patrash, so-called vegetarian, lies. Let's check out the new recap from Mr. Echidnut.
This episode, Subaru lost his mind. Last episode, Subaru lost his brain. Next episode, he loses his virginity. Happy ReZero Day.
I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. I don't think they've ever really made like an emphasis on like his like V card, you know? A lot of these like isekai characters do, they literally like spawn in saying like, I wanna get bitches, I wanna get laid. Like, did you know that in Tensura, Reincarnate as a Slime, Rimuru's ability that he got immediately, which was like, what was it? Devour? I know it sounds like predator or something. I know it sounds fucked up. It's from his motivations of wanting to be more aggressive and less like a beta submissive male and to be more aggressive towards women to get laid in a fantasy world. Isn't that fucked up? Anyways, I don't think Subaru's getting laid.
Hey gentlemen, this episode was so fucking peak. I actually can't believe how good this episode was. Holy,
it was great.
Fucking shit. Absolutely.
I will say it's not even close to anime episode of the year. Okay, let's just settle some. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of ReZero loyalists that only consume ReZero and maybe other pretty like niche isekai anime that doesn't understand what like ambitious storyboarding means. That anime was great in terms of the psychological thriller, the horror aspect, and the written narrative of what's going on. But in terms of production value, it does not even come close to episode of the year. Like every episode of JJK, I think, just shits on this. And I'm not saying that ReZero as a product is bad, but when you start talking about episode of the year, you have to understand like there's other competitors and other insane talent that exists. So like, yes, of course the fanboys are gonna say it's peak no matter what. And I thought that it was a very, very solid episode, but you know, it is still limited in what it is.
One of the best episodes in all of ReZero. Honestly, I would rank this above everything in Season 3, Season 2, and even most of Season 1.
I put Season 1, Episode 15 above this still, though. That shit was just so impactful. That was just so crazy shocking to me. I don't know. And then in terms of like emotional appeal, right? I think that Episode 7 in Season 1 also was fucking crazy with Arc 2, right? Episode 3 of Arc 1 also, fucking insane to me. That was like Reinhardt going, not even all out. He just executed Elsa, which she survived. But like, there's a lot of really memorable moments. I think this episode is very memorable too. Especially because of this scene right here, which is what? Anastasia's torso being tossed. It was just a carcass of meat being tossed around in the sound design of the flesh and just the horror. Oh my god.
What an incredible fucking masterpiece. The gore, the animation, the sound design, everything about this episode was perfect.
This part was probably the best animated sequence. Nice moving shots as the Ma Beast is attacking from the side. Some nice storyboarding on here. Some of the other parts though, right? I understand that it's supposed to be in a dark desert sand dune, right? But man, the nighttime, you know, it's very dark. Nothing is very visible, and that's the whole point. It adds into, you know, the menacing horror aspect of it.
This episode was perfect. I don't even know where to begin.
Patrash laughing?
So Patrash is no longer a vegetarian. We also got Anastasia at a discount. She's 50% off. Anastasia right now is possessed by a spirit modeled after Echidna, and Echidna doesn't really have emotions. So although Ram, Subaru, and recovering vegetarian Patrash obviously went crazy and lost their minds, Anastasia remained calm and didn't seem to be affected by the miasma. She never...
Really? I thought this was just her own different way of mental crash out. Of like, not like getting angry, but still delusional.
Never got mad or upset because she wasn't designed to have emotions. Therefore, this act of stabbing Ram was something Anastasia...
I swear to God, bro calls Ram Rom. Ram? Rom. Rom is Felt Guardian. Ram is this. Rem is Subaru's. Dude, am I crazy? This is Ram. A, right? There's an E, there's an A, there's an O. 3 separate vowels, right? Rem. Am I crazy?
Anastasia would do even without the miasma, which makes her kinda scary. There's something Anastasia would do even without the miasma, which makes her kinda scary.
So, she's not able to show emotion, yet she still did all of this. So the miasma still fucks her mental state. It's just that she's unable to show this like anger and wrath. So she's just doing this with a smile. I thought again it was just like everybody has a different way of insanity, and I thought this is supposed to be hers.
Rom was something Anastasia would do even without the miasma, which makes her kinda scary. The centaur mob beast was incredibly badass, although it was a bit.
It became a Shala victim though. That shit got glazed to the moon, and then it just, you know, it is what it is, right? Whatever. It's just this trope of introducing something so threatening only for it to be, you know, eaten up by something else just to show, yeah, here's the gap between them. Fair enough. That Centaur Beast, though, I want to see a Guilty Lao versus Centaur Beast matchup.
It's scarier how fast it healed its wounds in the light novel, and in the web novel, Subaru actually dies to it once by getting burned alive. The sound it makes was also supposed to sound like a crying baby, which I thought was kind of hard to hear in the.
Oh, that's what it was? It was very shrieking, right? The howling, the yelling, multiple layered screaming. It was, it fucked me up.
The anime, but it's fine. I also found it funny how Daphne, the Witch of Gluttony, was like,
my dream is to end world hunger.
And then she created this thing. Like,
what could be the logic of this? Well, the world hunger is from the perspective of basically like her beasts too, right? Doesn't she talk about survival of the fittest? And how you humans only see from a perspective of humans, but there's more, you know, there's other people too. Anyways, I feel like there was a lot of talk regarding like the three great Maju, right? Namabeast and the justification for it. She's got some crazy mental gymnastics.
Like, what the fuck, Daphne? This episode was more than just a 10 out of 10. It was like an 18 out of 10, which...
Okay, I'll take it. I mean, these ratings are just getting more and more inflated. I can't wait till we break through 20 out of 10.
Means it was legal what I did while I was watching it. This new character, Shala, is incredibly attractive, although I have decided to stop simping this week for religious reasons, so I'm not gonna simp, but I am...
Religious reasons? What's happening this week? Does anyone know?
I am having symptoms. Also, I'm sorry if my voice is deeper than it's supposed to be right now. I didn't go through another round of puberty or anything like that. I'm just sick. Sick of these bitches not cosplaying Shala. Come on, it's been one episode, ladies. Get that shit on and start posting already.
And then I can't wait for then the sweaty weebs to then shit on cosplayers who are just showing off their titties as Shala without actually reading the light novel, and then they'll gatekeep them. And then they'll realize, yeah, we don't want to cosplay this shit ever again.
I'm tired of waiting, guys. I fucking love Shala. She's one of my favorite... She's like one of my top 50 favorite ReZero characters.
Top 50 is low, bro. Top 50 means that she's like rank 50. Top something means that like, it's most likely on the lower end. All right. The stars here on the necklace though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember again, the rules of 6 and 7s. I'm not saying this as a meme. It's important for Pleiades, the uniter. That is Subaru's constellation, and the 7 deadly sins, and the 7 witches, and the 7 sins, and the missing seed of the pride, and all that bullshit, right? The color code, right? Black and gold, just like Natsuki Subaru. Her eyes got the 3 dots in there, but who knows if this relates to the tower, the 3 towers that exist, or something else. She's the sage. Does she know return by death? I kind of hope she does.
I want to talk about this tunnel though, and especially the doors. I genuinely don't know what the tunnel is, what these doors are, or why Subaru was able to open 2 of them, but I think I have a pretty good theory.
My theory is that 3 out of 4 doors were open, and we know that she has definitely 2 authorities. 2 witch factors, 1 authority. The second one hasn't yet to bloom, if we assume that again the second one is greed and the first one is sloth, right? Again, you kill an archbishop, you collect a witch factor, and it blooms into an authority, right? Now, I think that envy actually exists here, right? How? I don't know. It's just off of cut content and Echidnut saying there's something that exists as a pack before in season 2. right? I think Return by Death is an authority. Return by Death, right? Authority of Envy that Subaru might be using as like a proxy, as in like that witch factor may not actually exist in him. Maybe it's like a shared link between him and Satala. I don't know. Anyways, let's just assume there's 3, right? And that's why 3 out of 4 doors were able to be opened and the 4th one was locked. So that means that what? We got to collect every single witch factor. And once we do that, we can pull up here and open the rest of the doors, right? And the fact that he calls it a door is very precarious, right? No one else saw that it was a door. They just said it was like an iron wall. Why would Subaru himself instinctively, right, think that it's a door? Again, there's got to be a connection with him and Satala here.
On the strength of the miasma in this tunnel, I'm assuming it's the path that leads to where the witch is sealed, and the only way to get to her is through these doors, which kind of remind me of the seal from season 2 in the sense that only Amelia could open it, while in this case it seems like only Subaru can open the doors. But why is that? I don't have any evidence to prove
because he's the main character and the witch factors.
This other than vibes. Again, this is just a theory and there wasn't any more information or cut content about this in the novel, but my personal guess is that there's 7 doors total, one for every sin, and the qualification to pass through is having the required witch factor of that door. Let's say the first door was sloth. Well, Subaru has sloth, so that's why he could open it. The second door maybe could be envy. I always thought Return by Death was
Oh, he believes in the envy too.
Satella's authority rather than Subaru's, and she was just
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Using the proxy, the authority as a proxy.
using it with him as her target. But maybe that's not true, and Subaru actually does have another witch factor. Or maybe
I don't know.
Betelgeuse was right all the way back in season 1 when he...
Nah, I think that's gonna be Al. Are you Pride? I really hope Al is Pride. Why? Again, it's just vibes. He has this connection to some sort of, like the witch's scent was present in Al's helmet. He is very shady. He parallels Subaru in a lot of ways. I feel like he has to be, not necessarily Archbishop of Pride, but I hope that he has a power that's been hidden for this amount of time, and it's Authority of Pride.
He asked if Subaru was Pride. Regardless, I think the reason he couldn't open the third door was because it was lust or wrath or some witch factor that Subaru doesn't have yet. Maybe we'll revisit this theory later in the season after more information is revealed, but
I think what's more interesting is, what if instead of Subaru having all the witch factors after killing all the archbishops, what if he brings them here? So like, what if each individual, right? Rather than killing off Regulus, what if he was here? If he touched the door, would it open? I don't know. Does it have to be Subaru? Can it be simply other people with witch factors? Can Al just pull up here and touch the door, goddammit?
I think the overarching plot of ReZero is basically Subaru's journey of collecting all the witch factors, becoming the sage, whatever that means, and then finally either killing or saving Satella. The ReZero novel is still being written and it won't be finished anytime soon, but I'm willing to bet that Subaru will return to this tunnel in the final arc and open the rest of these doors. Technically, I guess there could be 9 doors if we include Melancholy and Vanity, but I don't know. This is another classic ReZero mystery, so if anyone else has a theory about this, please let me know in the comments.
I think this one is pretty cut and dry, right? I think a lot of people are on board with this one. It's a bit too simple though, right? Oh, Subaru himself just opens the doors. There's 7 of them, 7 sins, witch factors. I kind of wish that there was more to it than that, but it seems this simple so far. Maybe.
More interesting detail from the novel about Satella being sealed somewhere near the tower, probably at the end of that tunnel if you ask me, but Echidna actually said that it's possible to unseal Satella. She didn't say how. My theory is that you have to collect all the witch factors first, but the main takeaway here is that it is possible and there is a way to do it. So
Yes, that be the same as Volcanica by the Dragon's Power. I'm sealing this grave. We're talking about a kid in this seal that was actually Roswell's goal the entire time of season 2, right? To release that seal because he is so horny for the girl that groomed him. And the reason Volcanica did this was, as you correctly inferred, to serve as a counterforce against the Witch of Envy. Echidna's gaze was calm and intellectual, but when the words of Witch of Envy weaved from her lips, for an instant, a dangerous emotion flashed across her pupils. Perhaps that was the enormity of the chasm between her and the Witch of Envy. They fucking hate each other. There's a lot of drama. They don't even need miasma to start crashing out on each other. Echidna, even now, the Witch of Envy is imprisoned in the sealing stone, but her seal is not unbreakable, nor is Volcanica's lifespan eternal. Also, how the fuck does Satella come out? Like, basically, it feels like she can come out of the seal if she wants to. That's what we saw in season 2, when Subaru, you know, was caught cheating. Remember that episode? The entire fucking world is engulfed in her miasma. That was crazy. And I'm like, but how? How is she here? Like, that's her? It's gotta be her. What about the seal? Maybe the seal's a bit open. Maybe it's like a broken seal. Maybe she, under certain conditions, can break out by herself like that. Anyways, it's a very loose seal. Volcanica's lifespan is not eternal, and there is no guarantee that the seal won't be undone if given the chance. There's also quite a few who believe that there is no knowing whether every great change in the heavens and the earth might not be chipping away at the sealing stone. What do you mean heavens? What? Like, when you say this as like a person in real life, you know, we understand that there's like an earth and heaven and hell if you believe in the religion. But like, I don't really know of any religious shit going on in the world of ReZero other than the world is fucking flat. So we got the heavens and the earth. Anyways, might be chipping away at the sealing stone. That is why Volcanica left my existence behind.
I think that sets a pretty obvious endgame for ReZero, and I think we can expect to see that happen in the final arc. Anyway, about this new ending song, there was a brief image of the tower.
Echidna, Reed, Lugunican Royal. I don't know who this could be, but maybe Hoshin of the Wilderness. And these two looks like Emilia and Subaru. Does it not? Now, a lot of people are saying like Flugel Satala. I could see it. I think this is definitely Echidna though, right? But here's the idea. I think a lot of people theorize that Subaru is like a time traveler that also like lost his memories. I think the losing memories is very important. A lot of cut content from Shadow Garden content was kind of inferring at that. Imagine this is actually Subaru though, and he was there 400 years ago. And it's all and this is all circling together. But over here, suspiciously, these two look like Emilia and Subaru to me. This one, I just don't know. This one, blonde hair, Lugunican Royal, and this Reed and this, it's just classic Echidna design.
Shown, and it appears to be from 400 years ago. I can't say this with 100% certainty, but as a novel reader, what I see is the original heroes party. From left to right, we have the Witch of Greed Echidna, and then the first Sword Saint of the Estrella family, and then someone of the Lagunica family, most likely Farsail, and then maybe Hoshin, the founder of Kararagi, who was supposedly from Japan. It's
Satala?
him or Shala, it's kind of hard to tell. And then this is most likely Satella, the Witch of Envy.
And this one then, is it Flugel? Or what if it's Subaru though?
It also kind of looks like Pandora, but that wouldn't make sense because I don't think they were hanging out with her. And finally, I'm assuming this is Flugel, or
but what if it's Subaru?
Potentially Betelgeuse for some reason, but I don't know what he would be doing there. I could be wrong because this is the first time we've ever seen official artwork of some of these people, but those are the official members of the original party 400 years ago, and
this is probably the one thing that saves the ending visuals. Because the ending song is amazing, but the visuals are so disappointing. I do like the aura farming of the blood dripping into each character. I gotta show you guys this though. I gotta show you guys this. Oh, please don't load any porn as soon as I enter the fucking website. Please don't. Please don't. Homepage. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. This one. It's ketchup. Matey is getting ketchup. Anyways, I really like how they like awaken and open their eyes and look at you, but the visuals are extremely disappointing.
I just want to say, I think it's kind of weird that Echidna was friends with Hoshin and the first Sword Saint. I'll try not to go too deep with this, but that Sword Saint was known to have killed witches. And Hoshin literally built Pristella, the city that was designed to kill
I thought that like witches were never actually bad though. It was only until Satala truly crashed the fuck out as the Witch of Envy that the world then had placed such a stigma to them, right? For all we know, 400 years ago, it was really peaceful, right? And witches were just kind of chilling.
The dragon Volcanica isn't pictured here, but he was also friends with Echidna, and I'm pretty sure he killed Sekhmet. Basically, what I'm trying to say is...
Yeah, and she drove the dragon, you know, to the bottom of the Great Waterfall or some shit.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think Echidna betrayed the other witches. Again, this is just a theory. It's never been confirmed or even hinted at in the web novel, but it makes sense to me, and yeah, I'll shut up before I go too deep down this rabbit hole. Also, I thought
this guy just goes from anime only to light novel reader to anime only. The LARPing is insane. Why would she do that? I'm sure she has a good reason. Unless it's just her thirst for knowledge and just wanted to just play out all the simulations for content. That'd be kind of fucked up but funny, but I feel like there's got to be a good reason. She wouldn't just crash out randomly like that. Why would she just betray them all? Maybe she betrayed them because that was the only way to save the world. Something cliche like that.
Too deep down this rabbit hole. Also, I thought I should briefly mention this. Recently, there was a shooting in Turkey, and this LARPing retard actually fucking mentions Natsuki Subaru in his manifesto. I'm not gonna read it or show it because that loser doesn't deserve a legacy, and I think it's weird as fuck how media outlets always give these people a voice. But it's clear that he had some mental problems.
Oh, it's just a classic example of, you know, this person did bad thing. Let's find something that they were actually into and then try to connect some things. Like, oh, video games create murderers, you know? Oh, if you consume lolly content, then you're a pedophile, right? Basically, they try to, again, use these disingenuous, you know, extreme outliers and try to paint this narrative. You really think that a person that watches ReZero and actually understood the story and could relate to the motivations and themes of the characters it's Nagatsuki Tape telling you to just give up and be a school shooter? No. Listen, if you only watch Subaru crashing out and that's it, and that's all you could relate to, you're just a fucking loser and you don't understand a point of the story. And then to justify this fiction for these abhorrent acts, again, it's just so dishonest. This is the same logic of like, oh my god, did you know that the school shooter actually drank water? Dude, do you think that drinking water creates school shooters? I hear this guy actually loved pizza too. He mentioned in his manifesto. What's going on here? There's something more going on, don't you guys think?
And never touched grass in his life. However, the second worst thing he did that day was misrepresent Subaru's character. This episode aside, Subaru is not a vengeful person. Whenever he has a problem, he self-reflects and solves the issue from within, rather than crashing out and blaming society. It's also a fucking anime, and Subaru is a fictional character, so don't try to use him as moral justification for acts of random violence against innocent people. Most of
people want to cope with their shitty lives and to justify their shitty lives by looking into anything that may justify, again, their shitty lives. And a lot of the times it's from passages within fiction, which also is a very small section that does not actually represent what the entire story is telling. TLDR, it's just nothing burger, bro.
My viewers at least appear to be pretty grounded, self-aware gigachads, but if there happens to be another nutcase watching this who thinks that your loneliness is everyone else's fault, how about you try fixing yourself first, brother? I'm sorry, but society doesn't owe you shit. Loneliness doesn't just go away after you complain enough. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to put some effort in. I've dealt with this shit before.
The complaining actually is a cry for help and attention begging because they are actually lonely. And I mean, we could go down more the psychoanalysis of why people do this shit, but I want to talk about ReZero.
Just like everyone else, and if I could go back in time, I wish I could say to my past self, you're not stuck. You're just a lazy, retarded pussy. Stand up, be a man, go to the fucking gym, join a club, learn a skill, make a YouTube video. I don't know, just lock in and stop doing nothing. Sitting there pissed off on your phone.
I want to tell him that, but go full-time content creation. What are you doing, bro? You have this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that's been granted to you by being there at the right time making good content for ReZero. You get exceptional viewership for ReZero, and you can do other content variety anime really well too. This is rare. This is a limited opportunity of window. Unless his real-life career is that fucking valuable, which at the end of the day, maybe he loves his fucking job. But if he's just being lazy and squandering this content creation full-time opportunity, it just blows my mind. He has the knack for it. Why is he just sitting on his ass doing fucking nothing until ReZero comes back? It blows my fucking mind. Like, look at the viewership here on variety seasonal anime content. What are you doing, bro?
Blaming other people for your own feelings is such an easy, immature, vaginal perspective, and that mindset will eventually destroy you, just like it did to this fucking loser. Basically, the point is, instead of always looking outward, start looking inward.
Ooh.
And then say the
But like, here's the thing: most people can't confront themselves. Most people constantly need noise and anything to distract them, because once they're alone, that's when you ask the real questions, introspection. And many people feel so uncomfortable, they constantly need to distract themselves, consume, scroll, doom scroll, read, fucking game, whatever, talk to other friends. Have you ever sat in a room by yourself and just thought to yourself? I do that shit all the time, and I love it. It's a way of self-reflecting and understanding who I am. But so many people, they're terrified of the inner voice. And again, you keep doing this shit, you keep pushing your problems away, and it's way easier to blame others or to, again, right, external, just like frustration, when everything is from within.
N-word. All these media companies are trying to blame this on anime though, kinda like how they did in the past with video games, and I think they used to blame it on rock and roll music even before that. It's fucking stupid. Hitler had a dog, and I have a dog too. That doesn't mean I'm gonna invade Poland. I am, though. Poland, you better watch out. Anyway, sorry for the rant. Thank you guys for watching. This episode was fucking crazy. Easily the darkest
It was pretty crazy
moment in probably all of ReZero, and also probably one of the top 5 episodes in the entire series. That's all for today though. Keep talking about ReZero. I gotta go take a shit, so peace out.
Top 5. I think, it could be top 5 easily. I think this is a very shocking and haunting episode that was also overglazed to the moon, but still was very fun to watch. My favorite moments were definitely when, Ram, Anastasia, Patrash, the laugh. Like, what the fuck was that? But then after they were fighting, the way that it ends with Ram then protecting Subaru, sacrificing herself, that's what Rem would do, low-key LARPing, but still such a great moment. And then Shala, just this demonstration of overwhelming power. This Mobbies comes in and it's so threatening. Nothing can be done. And then time stops. Holes appear. I am the bone of my sword, bro. Needles just disintegrates, bro. You don't see anything. What the fuck? This is a sage? I thought sages, I don't know. They're not supposed to be fighters. They're just like wise, boomers. But nah, we got a baddie here and I want to know more about her. Please check out Mr. Echidnut. Link to the video right over here. Go check him out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.